a lot has gone on this past week. We were pretty close on not doing an episode, but we are here, and you will enjoy this. So let's start out. Let's just jump on in it, guys. Let's just talk about what we're here to talk about first. All right. So your Kansas City Chiefs, my Kansas City Chiefs played this past weekend.
Kansas City Chiefs.
All of our Kansas City Chiefs played this past weekend with 29 million viewers tuning in to the
29 million.
game.
Damn.
29 million against the New York Jets. The New York Jets. So what I took away out of the game, man, so it was a little bit closer than what I thought it should have been. Patrick Mahomes did not play very well at all, but he did come out with a smart play, and we'll explain it here in a little bit. I think Ken might want to talk about that, what he did at the end of the game to win it all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and start out with that, man. Let's just go ahead and talk about Mahomes' game. What do you think? So was it the Jets? Were they really that good? Did they do something different to kind of screw him up? Or, I mean, was he just off?
To start, I mean, the first half of the game, he looked great. I mean, they came out, they drove the ball, they settled for a field goal, their first possession, but then they came back out. You know, Pacheco got the big run. What was it, 40?
52, maybe?
48.
48,
Well, that was 40-something. 40-something.
Short. Pacheco almost got in the backfield. Instead, into the open field and accelerating. Pacheco in for the touchdown. The Jersey Kid back in his home state for 6.
40-something yarder, and then they hit Noah Gray with like a 30-yard touchdown. So it looked great, but when they come out of the halftime, that's when I looked like the wheels kind of fell off.
But even the second quarter, right? I mean, so the first quarter, you're thinking they play well.
Yeah, they played good the first half.
First half? Okay. I thought I saw second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter.
Was it second quarter where they started struggling? Perhaps it was.
Yeah,
but
it was the second quarter because
Okay.
it was they opened. You're right, because everything kind of opened up. You got the safety happen, then a field goal, and then some crappy little touchdown. So
Yeah,
it's
we
where
have
the- it's where-
17-0,
Yeah, it's where
right?
Juwan Taylor got called for that shitty hold call when he wasn't really even in the end zone when it happened. But
We'll get to Juwan.
yeah,
We'll
but
get to Juwan in a little
that's
bit.
that's where the wheels kind of fell off. The safety, then a field goal that got him to 5, and then the touchdown got him, I think, and then we got another field goal somewhere in there. So then we got 20-12.
So for me, I think with Patrick, like I still feel like his footwork this year has like actually improved, right? So I still feel like his footwork in the pocket is still really good. So there was no problems there. When he did run the ball, he was definitely effective. He has been this entire year, by the way, with that. So for me, what I think it was with his interceptions is that this Jets defense is probably the fastest defense that he's had to go against. And so some of those timing plays, right, where you just kind of loft it in the air.
Weird
so,
shit.
So I think there's two components there. I think that he was a little bit off on the timing of how hard he should have threw it, right, slightly off. But then, two, I mean, he is going against these Jet defenders that are better than any previous secondary that they've played against. So,
Well, and that front four gets in there fast.
Yeah,
Yes.
and now what was the deal with the he did twice. He did the whole fade ball. And
Like a lazy throw.
Right.
Yeah,
and you could read his lips. After
was
he threw
fu-
the second
he was
one,
like, "Throw the ball."
He said, throw the fucking ball.
Yeah.
He's telling himself, like, what the hell are you doing, bro? It's like it was almost like a free throw shot. What do you think of the play of the Jets quarterback, Mr. Wilson?
oh, man. You know what? He looked like Tom Brady out there for a little bit because Tom Brady.
Whoa. Slow your roll there.
No. I'm not going to slow my roll, and here's why. So if you look at the way he started managing that game, right? What did Tom Brady do when he didn't have like Randy Moss?
Chip shot.
Yeah, chip shot.
dink and dunk, dink and
Just
dunk.
real quick thought process, no hesitations, right? And that's what I was seeing from Zach Wilson, and he was highly effective with it. That's what kept them in the game.
Did you know?
Well, he's got to stay busy somehow. They've been thrown at him tonight. Offense takes over, Melissa from the 25. And Zach Wilson throws, and it's caught by the tight end, Tyler Conklin.
This back shoulder throw, it was just perfectly placed. Coverage was very good right there. We see.
Did you notice the stat that they had up there that when he throws over 2.5 seconds, he sucks. His quarterback rating sucks. But if it's less than 2.5 seconds that he throws, He had a fantastic game, and that's what he was doing. It was almost like somebody told him, "Hey, by the way, if you throw real fast against the Chiefs, hey, your quarterback rating skyrockets. You're going to have like 2 or 3 touchdowns," and that's what happened.
Well,
he didn't take his time.
I think he got a little mad, a little salty because the NFL Live broke his quarterback play down the week before, and he was basically throwing the safe route. Right, he was just going straight to the hot route. And he was still going through his motions. He was almost there, but he was holding the ball just a little bit longer, just like you said. And then he was hitting the safe route. And if he had just gone through his progression and waited just that, or got it off of it just a little bit sooner, he would have anticipated. So instead of using his anticipation, he's felt like he was just being coached. So that was the big difference. And then, of course, you go out, what was it, Sunday Night Football, and you just go out and you just let it fly. So I think that's why Zach Wilson, who had a better passer rating than Patrick Mahomes, went out there and showed out.
Right.
That's exactly what happened.
And then so since he was playing so well, our defense couldn't really get to him. But our defense actually played just as good to win the game. Do you agree?
Yes. Do you know what the score was in the fourth quarter?
The fourth
Good question.
Yeah, the fourth
Good
quarter,
question.
like total score in the fourth quarter from both teams.
2020.
No. Well, no. I mean, yes, it was
like 40?
But the total scores in the fourth quarter, there was only 3 points scored in the fourth quarter.
Oh, in the
of
fourth
that
quarter. I
game,
got you.
in the fourth quarter, and the Chiefs have the only points in the fourth quarter. So there was a lot of defense on the field, just so you guys know.
Chiefs at the rush. Zach trying to get out of there, and he won't. He will be sacked to end this first half.
Oh yeah. So just to clarify that, or to touch on that, also, the Chiefs are the only team in the NFL right now to hold the opponents through 4 weeks under 21 points. The Chiefs defense.
Good point. We are
I
projected.
did not know that.
This is the best defense.
Wonderful stat.
This
The
is
best.
This is the best defense Patrick Mahomes has had to date since he's been a starter, starting QB. We are projected to hold opponents total for the whole year 255 points.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
exactly.
great.
I thought that was great.
So this is what, a couple of games without Nick Bolton.
Nick Bolton hasn't played, and he's not going to play this weekend. I don't think.
No, he is. He is.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Okay.
he logged a limited practice or
I like it.
an LP, and then I think
he's
he got a full P.
questionable. So
Right.
is this alarming that we didn't notice?
Notice
That we're
the
playing
defense?
so well, that the defense playing
Oh,
so
we
well.
noticed the
without
defense,
him?
but it was
we-
against
We noticed week one.
aside
Chris
yeah,
Jones,
Actually,
yeah.
we saw a glimpse
minus
of
Chris
it.
Jones. You saw what they
And
did
then we was
without
like, was
him.
it a
and
fluke?
I'm
then-
talking about Nick Bolton. With Nick Bolton being
Bolton,
out,
that's huge.
for sure.
and we didn't
Yeah.
notice.
No, we did.
that-
Oh,
that-
really?
that
I
was
thought they
big.
played. I thought Tranquil was.
No,
fantastic.
He's all
I
over
mean,
the
like,
place.
I mean,
He's
they play.
sideline to sideline.
I'm not saying it's night and day, but when Nick Bolton's in, you got all the confidence in the world.
Yeah.
So I mean, as for as a Chiefs fan, yeah, I know when Nick Bolton's not out there, but they are fucking playing great, even with him and not being.
I think a lot of that has to do with those young secondary guys. We got Watson and Cook and Ross and all those guys like that.
Yeah, that
And,
open field tackle on Brees Hall
and
did
you
it.
still got McDuffie. He's the highest rated D-back in the league right now.
Yeah, he's good.
And then L'Jarius Sneed, he's been
He's been a little banged up, but he's good.
He's been taking the number one
Solid.
receivers coming out there.
Yeah.
Like he was all over Garrett Wilson that game.
Can you believe we're talking about the defense and
I know,
not
right?
Patrick Mahomes?
But I love it, dude. I used to love that early '90s defense with
Oh, so
Sally
good.
Amua and Smith and
Thomas,
Oh,
of course.
yeah.
Stephon
dudes.
Page.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
Dale
offense,
Carter.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's,
Dale Carter.
Oh, yeah,
Page
Dale
was
Carter.
yeah,
That
Dale
was a
Carter.
good one.
So then, okay, so let's go ahead and transition to the wide receivers. It's already been
I
4
was gonna bring that up.
freaking games.
Yeah.
What is the deal with the freaking wide receivers? Is it
here we
because
go.
is it because Patrick Mahomes really couldn't figure it out because of this good defense, but it's been 4 games. Where are they at?
Did you hear what he said?
The learning curve with the
He
guys.
said, well, there's that, but also, but I mean, he had a camp. He invited everybody down to Texas like he always does.
Yeah.
But you got to think about Patrick Mahomes. You hear what he said? He said, "Blame me,
I know
blame me for the passing."
he's the leader, so of course he would.
Yeah, that's
blame,
what you're supposed to
blame
say. You know, when you guys are bringing up the defense, that's actually what I was going to mention. I was like, it's a good thing we're talking about our defense right now because our offense has definitely bettered this
They
season.
farted right out the gate.
Yeah, and obviously because they didn't have Travis Kelce that first game, and
Yeah.
even since he's been back, he just hasn't been as dominant yet as what we're used to. And so I
Damn
think
you,
that's
Taylor.
that's what we're really seeing on the offensive side of the ball, and the other
It's Taylor
guys
Swift
just
effect.
haven't stepped up yet. So
Yeah, I mean, you're also looking at like he's got to figure it out with these guys. Like he's used to a Juju Smith-Schuster who's going to make the catch. He's used to Honestly, I think Rashid Rice is getting there. Like he's starting to show promise. And this is only his 4th week in the NFL, so like I can see him by week 8, week 9 starting to put things together. But I promise you, they need to get Justin Ross out.
Oh my God!
not?
Thank you. I'm so glad you said that.
I wish.
Oh my God!
Put the kid on.
Put him.
The only thing
it's so bad.
The only thing I could think is that they're holding this kid out, waiting for him for the second half of the season before he just explodes.
That's right. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm right there with you, Ken.
The same thing with the whole offense. You know what I mean?
What the hell?
So that was my whole thing, and I was thinking about that today. I was like, okay, so in the preseason, if he was like the one everyone was talking about, he's the most consistent in practice.
Yep.
It's not like
Most
our wide
dynamic,
receivers are out there
athletic.
locking down their jobs. So I've had a hard time understanding why we're not giving him more chances to get out there and show us if he has it.
But did you notice that this isn't just our issue? It's like all across NFL.
And
A
if
lot of the-
ESPN, all the announcers are picking it up. They're just
Right.
like, why
Wide
aren't
receivers-
Oh, they're talking about Justin Ross or other
No.
receivers?
No, I'm
Stephen
talking about
A.
other
Smith.
receivers.
Stephen
not,
A. Smith,
Well,
all those dudes.
not stepping
Well,
up.
I feel like there's other teams though that are actually throwing their rookies in there, letting them have a chance. Look at what they're doing with the Rams
down
man.
in
you got
Nakua, and then you got to look
Tutu
down.
Atwell even. Oh, he's a second-year
he's-
player. I
but
keep
you got-
forgetting.
The guys you need to look at are like, look what CJ Stroud's doing down with the Texans. I mean, he's throwing to Tank Atwell. He's also throwing to
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins.
Tank
who's a-
Dell.
Tank Dell. I'm
Tank
sorry.
Dell.
And
Yep.
Nico Collins, who's a second-year guy, but still, those guys are stepping up all over the place.
Yeah, it's just like for some reason it's just like, well, these guys are in line to start right now. Like I don't know if that's what the deal is, but throw the man in there.
And the whole thing was Justin Ross. The whole reason they took the flyer on Justin Ross is because he was a first-round talent, but he jacked himself up.
4.4 speed.
Yeah, he jacked himself up in college, messed his knee up. So we took him anyways, brought him into camp, basically told him just like, hey, get yourself better. You're going to get a chance. We're going to we're going to give you the opportunity to shine. And he was here all last year. He should know the offense. He had a whole year underneath Andy Reid to learn the offense. And now he's healthy. He should be able to know the playbook. Put the fucking kid out there. Let him prove something. I mean, the dude is an animal from everything I've seen.
Timeout by their head coach. Uyunglele to throw. A laser beam for Ross. And Ross doing his best Will Shipley impersonation. Dragging tacklers for a first down. DJ, tons of time into the end zone. Caught and single touchdown. Justin Ross. Uyunglele, touchdown Ross. As prescribed, Justin Ross, one of the great comeback stories in college football this year, and comes through with a big catch here.
You see him here, he just runs up, steps on the toes of Tanner Ingle.
Might see some new faces tonight running the football for the Tigers. First down and 10. This is going to be Ross on the move. Ross taking a little pitch and down the left side.
It backs it up to the 17, 24 seconds to go. Uyunglele has time all day. End zone. Ross. Did he come down with it in the end zone? No signal that it's a touchdown. They'll mark him down at the 1 yard line. 13 seconds to go. I'm almost surprised they didn't review that. Boy, where did that ball go? Does that...
Quick three-step drop. DJ fires a dart. Complete to who else? Mr. Dependable Justin Ross. Count on him to move the chains. Welcome back, everyone. This is ESPN College Football delivered by Papa John's. Third down and 6 for DJ. Fires. Complete for the first down. Justin Ross, his safety blanket, working against Jarvis Brownlee. Play fake to Retcher. Quick throw. Shot play. There's Ross. 45. Justin Ross toward midfield. Pulled back there. First down, Clemson.
Yeah.
Let me bring something up real quick. So, Bieniemy was a hard ass. Bieniemy, when you drop the ball or fumble the ball, He met you and he got in
Oh,
your
yeah, he
fucking
lets you know.
ass. Oh, he was rough. So he leaves and goes to the Commanders. The Commanders players bitch about him because he's too rough.
Yeah.
So do you think that we kind of softened up a little bit with Nagy? And Nagy's a more of a sit down, hey man, we're gonna come right back at you, bro. Don't worry about it, kind of thing. Do you think maybe that might have played a role so far?
You know what? Yeah, you could be right.
We're not holding anybody accountable for their mistakes.
Maybe they're just letting Patrick, light the fire under their asses. I think that's what they're doing, because at first it was Bieniemy, and we've seen Bieniemy and Patrick Mahomes on the sideline a couple times, going at it and butting heads, and he's like, hold up, give me the play.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes would never throw anybody under the bus, but at the same time, if you're making mistakes, he in his own leadership style way will let you know you got to fucking step up, bro. If not, you're sitting your ass down. In his own polite way.
Right. And the whole Kadarius Toney getting sat down and all that's because he has been injured. So he is dealing with injuries.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay,
Of
so-
course.
He just needs to learn how to Emmitt Smith it, where he makes a good play. Once the contact happens, don't try to force yourself to break that, get the rack, get the yards after catch, or the yak.
Yeah, that's
yards
that's
after
yak.
catch. Like, learn to just say, hey,
Learn
let's
how
go
to fall.
down and take the nice
especially
yards.
when what he's fighting for is only going to be a yard or two.
Once you got the first down, like that extra yard's not
when
gonna
there's
matter.
three guys on you,
Exactly.
go down, bro.
Yeah, go down.
You're not Derrick Henry.
I love that, though. I love the fight, but at the same time, play it smart, kid.
Jerry Rice and Marcus Allen made this into it, so they always knew how to fall. Does that make sense?
Long
They
careers.
made it that's why they made it into an art. They knew how to fall properly.
Yeah.
I feel like Travis Kelce has that a little bit too. He seems to know how to take the hits, knows how to fall.
So is this all we have? Is this what we see for the wide receivers? Is this it? Is that their role play?
I mean, they don't
Is that
have
the best they can do?
They need the big body like a Justin Ross. They need a red zone threat.
Agreed.
They need somebody that can muscle guys around. Like Rashid Rice, he's the possession receiver. I think he's doing a decent job right now filling in for Juju Smith once he left, like the possession receiver.
Yep.
Other than Kelsey, we have him and Rashid Rice. I think we need that deep threat. We have that in Scantlin, but we also need that big body red zone to take some pressure off of Kelsey. When we get in that red zone.
So here's the real question. Is it time to hit the panic button on the wide receiver core?
I don't think so yet.
Because look at-
but I'm getting to the point where I'm fed up looking at it. Like,
Yeah.
as good of a quarterback Mahomes is, he still needs to have.
That
some
sounds
kind
like
of
a yes.
They don't excite me.
I mean, they don't. There it is.
That
I
sounds
agree
like a
with that.
yes. It sounds like a yes on the panic button.
They're serviceable and they show up when it needs to happen. And I
That's
just-
a gross word. You said serviceable.
Serviceable.
You
And
said
they are.
serviceable.
That's all
But
it
it is
is.
pretty much the same crew we had last year, though, is it not?
And I talked to it basically is. I was saying this earlier
Mm-hmm.
today. You saw the Chase Claypool trade. Like he's a big body. He's a second round talent. And all they traded was they swapped a 6th for a 7th round pick with Miami Dolphins.
Right.
That's all they had to give up. I was like, why the fuck couldn't the Chiefs do that to get a 6'4" kid from Notre Dame who's proven himself when he had Big Ben like he was a stud. He was a 1,000-yard receiver.
He has
nine touchdowns, I think, that rookie year.
I hear he's bad in the locker room.
Yeah,
Right.
He developed a reputation, unfortunately,
Right.
that when he wasn't directly involved in the play, he knew it wasn't going to probably go to him. So if he needed to come out and help protect the edge, right?
Yeah.
That he just kind of took those plays off.
Yeah.
So,
But you got to look at like
He's a
when,
cancer.
when he was there as a rookie, he showed up. But then once Big Ben left, and it was fucking Mason Rudolph as quarterback, and all those other guys, like I'd be kind of like,
he lost.
It
Yeah, he
doesn't-
lost all
It
motivation.
doesn't give you a right to be an asshole and a cancer.
Then it burned
he
himself
gave
out
up,
there.
yeah.
Then he went to
just gave up.
Chicago, and then they weren't getting him the ball. The same fucking thing. Like
So I think you hit on something there, Ken, right? So he came out as a rookie. He had a great rookie season, right? He had a
Yeah,
great
he
rookie
did,
season. I think he had 9 touchdowns. I think you just mentioned that. He went for like close to 1,000 yards, if I remember right. Maybe in
I think he
800.
had 1,000, and then
Maybe, yeah, I think you're right. I think he did go a little bit over 1,000 yards. So, in his eyes, I don't know if you guys seen the interview earlier this year where he actually is calling himself a top 5 receiver.
Oh, no.
and then he doubled down and he was like, no, he was like actually top 3. And so
Oh, good.
that gives you a little bit look into the psyche of this kid, right? So after he had this good rookie season, did he become a diva after his first season? You guys said he had some issues in the locker room, right? If he's taking off plays, who wants that player on their team?
Let me quote what Buddy Bell told, I think it was Carlos Hernandez one time, the pitcher. He said, "You're not good enough to be an asshole."
That's pretty good.
That's pretty solid.
I like that.
I do like that. Yeah,
that
absolutely. You're
that
not
was
good enough to
pretty
be an asshole,
badass.
man.
So Jawan Taylor, he's at it again.
Man.
Wait a minute. Are we just now picking on this kid now? Is that what's going on?
Is he trash?
No,
I'm not going to call him trash because we're stuck with him, and it's just a
I won't
project we're
call
going to
him
have to
trash.
work on.
Also, just because at one, I think it was just before this week. I don't know what it was. I don't know his stats prior to this, but they had him still rated as like he had 0 pressures on Mahomes. Like all his mistakes are penalties right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But like as far as holding the line, like he does his job. He was still one of the higher rated
I
tackles
saw
in the
that.
league.
I saw that.
Well, I'll say this: I'm happy that he is protecting Patrick Mahomes because I'll take a few penalties here and there that's going to stop him from getting.
But the
hit.
whole
100.
the whole
Same.
pretty much takedown in the end zone, and then the false start. What did he have? Another 2 false starts, and then they took away a long touchdown because he did another hold or something.
I feel like that one was iffy. If that's the one I'm thinking
But
of.
he did get away with one at the end of the game. Like I saw that play where they called the hold on Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that was Taylor on that tackle side, and he was holding the fuck of whoever the hell that was.
So it should have been offsetting penalties.
Oh,
so
my
there's
God.
your 0 pressures right there, bro.
hey, there's no penalty, there's no foul.
I mean, technically, there's holding on every single play in the
absolutely.
NFL. So I mean, like you gotta you pick your poison. When are you gonna call it? When if it's blatant in front of you, you know they're gonna call it.
All right, so now that the Jets played against the defending world champions and looked pretty good, the quarterback looked really good. They always had a really good running game, and their defense is pretty stout. Are they good now?
The Jets?
The
Yes.
Jets.
They played the way I
the
look
way
at
he
it.
showed up, I would say they showed why he's the number 2 pick. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers has anything to do with that, but I think Zach Wilson showed why he was the number 2 pick going up against our defense. Yes.
Okay, here's a real question:
But I don't think they're any better now.
Are the
I
you
do.
don't think they're good?
I do.
Do you?
Are the Jets good enough to beat the Broncos? Good. How about that one?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I haven't seen anything out of the Broncos that would tell me that Jets offense can't push that ball
Anybody
down.
can beat the Broncos. Are we talking about the same Broncos?
Yeah,
Are you,
yeah. This year Broncos.
What do
Well,
you mean?
also,
John
but like
Elway
we got,
Broncos.
but we're talking about how good the Jets are.
Yeah.
So, are the Jets good enough to beat the Broncos?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's also keep in mind too, right? I know it's some people might say it's not early in the season. It's still kind of early in the season, right? There's 17 games.
Week 5 coming up.
I think we've already seen some teams do these roller coasters, like where they look like they suck, and then all of a sudden they look like they're good, and then we've seen it vice versa. I think.
Are we on contenders and pretenders already?
So that kind of brings me to the Bears, right? Because you brought up Denver, and I thought about it. I was like, well, the Bears lost that game to Denver. Denver came back from down 20 against the Bears. So it made me think of a question because we're saying, because I think I'm in
I'm so
agreement
glad you're
with you
talking about
guys.
this, Tony.
The Broncos
I got something to
absolutely
say about that,
suck.
too.
I'm not confident in the Broncos, right? But for whatever reason, I feel now a little bit confident in the Bears, who happened to just lose to the Broncos.
The Bears looked good, especially this last Thursday night. DJ Moore went off.
Against a formidable
Justin Fields
defense.
went off. But back to the week prior when they gave up that loss to the whatchamacallit you were just talking about, the Bears had just lost their defensive coordinator. That guy.
Oh, yeah, that's right,
There's
yeah.
a big fiasco. To me, they haven't released anything and said what it all is, but to
Sexual
me,
harassment?
it sounds like child porn or something like that because they seized a whole bunch of stuff, and it was all Chicago, and it was even supposedly some of the Chicago Bears software, computers, stuff like that. That's what it sounds like to me because the shit is not being talked about.
Right, yeah.
And so
No,
and that,
he resigned so he could spend more time with his family.
Yeah. Gag orders.
Look on the Ad Astra Boys. I put the article out there.
the
Gag orders.
The little Thai kid he adopted, right? The little 5-year-old
Yeah.
Thai kid.
So
Yeah, but man, dude, you saw him last night, man. That defense was tough. But also, Sam Howell was terrible because he wasn't picking up any of the blitzes. Those blitzes were disguised very well.
Yeah,
Yes.
you said the Commanders' defense was pretty good.
Formidable.
well, hold on. Their secondary.
Ron Rivera.
So their secondary has actually been trash for a few weeks.
Their
They've-
front four is
They're
great.
giving up the most big plays in the NFL, and I think that's what's killing them. Is they're just
Yes.
giving up these. So maybe they're being too aggressive in the secondary. That definitely happened on that long DJ
last
Moore,
DJ Moore.
touchdown. Yeah.
Yep.
I
As Anissa and I were betting, I told her, I was like, one of your players are going to go off. She had Herbert and Moore. I looked down and I circled Moore, did a screenshot, and it said Washington 31st. You know, in fantasy football, and it has that little green thing right there, and it says Washington 31st. I go, DJ Moore touchdown.
Herbert was well on his way.
He was close until he got
rolled
hurt.
his ankle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I fucking picked him up, and then he rolled his ankle. But
Oh, good timing. Good timing.
I still got points. So, yeah.
So with the Bears, right? There's two players that I'm sure anyone in the fantasy world is interested in, and that would be Justin Fields and DJ Moore.
Well, duh.
This last game, and I don't remember, right? So this last game, though, I do know that Justin Field had 4 touchdowns. I think the game before, what did he have? 4 or 5?
4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns,
Four
right?
touchdowns.
Was it 4-2? Okay.
DJ Moore, how many did DJ Moore have the week before? Did he have 2 touchdowns?
He only had one.
I think
so.
he
He
had
had one, but he did have
but
3
he had
touchdowns.
100 yards. But he had 100 yards.
Yeah.
And he had 200 and some odd yards, 3 touchdowns this last game.
230, 3 touchdowns.
Is Justin Fields now, and is DJ Moore
That new combo?
top-notch elite
stack.
players in fantasy now from here on out for the rest of the season?
No, I mean, if you have the ability to stack them, yes, definitely, I would do that all day long. But this win for the Chicago Bears was just to kind of like hold the dogs off for a little bit, because let's be real here. The Bears do suck, and I know we're getting into the pretenders and contenders of the weeks now. And I mean, your record says who you really are. So let's start there. And if they can continue to produce, if Justin Fields and DJ Moore, or at least Justin Fields, has another 2+ touchdown game, then yeah, if you had an opportunity to stack those guys, for sure. The answer to your question is yes.
They will be the next 3 to 4 weeks, because they play the Vikings, they play the Raiders, they play the Saints.
I was going to say, look who
they have a cheddar schedule for the next 3 or 4 weeks, but then after that,
look who they played against when they
get buckled down.
had those fantasy points. Now, when they played
Gives
against
me
the
a little
Chiefs, they
pause.
had
Yeah,
nothing.
I mean,
so they're playing trash teams, and that's when you want to pick them up. When they play better defenses, that's when you want to.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can pick up those guys. I think you have to draft those guys. Well,
the next 3 or 4 the next 3 to 4
DJ Moore
weeks.
was he a draft?
you got to draft that guy.
Oh yeah, DJ
Yes.
Moore was.
You
definitely
got to
drafted.
draft that guy. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Then they
you
play
ain't
the-
getting him out
Justin
on a
Fields
wire.
wasn't a draft. I tell you
Justin
that.
Fields,
Yeah,
he was a top-
he was a fifth
He was
round.
a top.
Yeah.
He was a top
He was a
pick
fifth rounder.
going
Justin
into
Fields was a
everything.
fifth rounder.
Fantasy league.
Fantasy.
Yeah, I got
Fifth rounder.
DJ Moore in 2 out of my 3 leagues, and then I got Justin Fields in 3 of my leagues, all of them, and then I dropped him in one of them. But that's okay.
That's all right.
I got CJ Stroud
Thanks for
as
that.
my backup.
There you go. There you go.
CJ Stroud's
There you
solid,
go.
man. That's a fun play right there. Anyway, so did we miss anything on the Chiefs, by the way? I know I feel like we probably talked about everything. Who do we have coming up? Minnesota. We have not talked about our upcoming game against Minnesota.
Kirk
There you
Cousins
go.
and the
Yeah.
number 1 wide receiver Stephon Diggs is coming in.
Whoa, slow it down. Back it up, buddy.
Whoa, hold up. What?
Stephon Diggs hasn't
Oh,
played with
sorry.
Minnesota in a
Sorry, that's
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Cut that
Jay
out.
Jettis, Justin Jefferson.
JJ.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, go ahead, drink some more of that bourbon. Molson.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe after this past week, who is the number 1 wide receiver this year so far? Is it actually still Justin Jefferson?
Actually,
Coming
I don't
in,
think
he
it is.
was.
It might have moved. Well, I think Moore might have just moved up just because of 3 touchdown performance.
Well, take
200
that.
something.
Take that out, but take
But-
more out. But going
just
going
from last
in,
week. Just from last week, not including this week
Yeah.
yet.
No, Justin
I
Jefferson is
think
still
Justin
ranked
Jefferson
number
is
one.
He doesn't
Yeah.
have the touchdowns, but the yardage is all there,
Right.
just like everything else. So.
Right.
But
Yeah,
he's
definitely yardage.
he's definitely
There's
still-
somebody.
he's
There's
still
somebody
number
there
one.
that's
our man Joe Hooters and
Nico Collins is up there.
Fanisa. They're actually going to the Minnesota Vikings Kansas City Chiefs game up in
They're headed up to Minnesota. Eh?
Minnesota. Them and a bunch of our season ticket members are heading up there this weekend, so that ought to be a fun little ride. I myself am not. I'm obligated at home, so that kind of sucks.
You gotta have to cut the grass again.
Third time in 2 weeks. I'm so fucking
It's
bored.
it's Ken's it's Ken's month to do the dishes.
Do the dishes,
man.
cook. There's a lot of Asian food in my house right now.
Oh, you're on your period. That's what
I'm in
it
my
is.
nesting period.
I wanted to
yeah.
go, but I'll just be frankly honest. Shit's expensive right now, and
Yeah,
Christmas is coming up. And I was like balancing it out. I was like, you know what?
When I ain't got a job, it's hella expensive.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey, you know what? It's pho season. It's pho season.
Yeah. Oh, that's
I couldn't see myself on a 7-hour road trip with Anissa and Joe, and then hanging out for 48 hours up there in Minnesota, and then having another 7-hour trip trip in the same vehicle with them coming back.
Same.
I'm gonna be like, bro, I love you, but I'll see you in 2 months.
I'm jumping on Spirit Airlines.
I'm jumping on
Yeah,
Delta
Spirit.
or American. I'm bowling out.
It'll be a good game. Minnesota still has the offense there, but they're kind of gone the other way with what they've been doing this year. All the close games they seem to be losing. They're 1-3 on the year, and they haven't been able to win those close games like they did all last year, where they won like 7 or 8 of them within one score or whatever it was.
They can still bite you, man.
Their offense, their offense is untouchable, but their secondary is, I think their secondary is like almost dead last. Their defense in general is ranked like 31st. So if you want to, if you're the Chiefs and your offense is struggling, like Minnesota Vikings is the cure that you want to see coming up. You know what I mean?
So this is a really good game for the Chiefs wide receivers, correct?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I'm hoping to see something happen.
I know.
Minnesota-
I'll say this. I think Ken says that because I think there's still that worry in the back of our mind.
Yeah,
is that we just don't
absolutely.
have that confidence in our receiving core right now. And Travis Kelce still has not been the dominant Travis Kelce. I think we'll eventually start to see it.
Yeah, they're probably.
But
they're
I'm
probably
a little
babying him
concerned.
little
I'm
bit.
not going to lie, but we'll see.
This is the game. I see. I look in there, and I'm looking at Kadarius Toney in my fantasy football league. He's on my bench. I'm not starting him. But it says at Minnesota, and it says 31st. So they're just as bad as Washington against the pass.
Yeah. Oh, they 31st. Yeah, I was gonna say I know they
Yeah.
rank down toward the bottom.
Yeah.
But my ideal situation is this is the game. You get Justin Ross out there, let him see what he can do. My ideal wide receiver room with the Chiefs, with what they have now, you put Ross out there, you put Rashid Rice out there, you put Sky Moore in the slot, and then you bring Kadarius Toney in when you need that fourth receiver, and then you got Kelce still in there, and you got McKinnon coming out of the backfield. Like, I would love to see that more often.
Yes, McKinnon. He's so solid.
So Patrick Mahomes going to throw for 3 touchdowns?
3 touchdowns to get the Vikings, I think so. He has to step it up now.
Ooh, I love it. You get
This is the time.
you can get that at plus 128, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, let's go ahead and say 2 to Travis Kelce, and we'll throw the other one to Rashid Rice.
Oh, you're going to go with Kelce. Oh,
Yes,
so
as I have Travis
So
Kelce.
No Sky Moore? No Sky Moore?
hey, I'm going to guess no Taylor Swift appearance. So, yeah, I would guess, it'd be a perfect opportune time for Travis Kelce to step up.
Thank you for addressing the elephant in the room.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
So, what makes you think that she will not be there?
Well, it's Minnesota, first of all.
What's that
and
mean?
Then,
What's that mean?
Travis Kelce even came out himself and was just kind of like, hey, the NFL's kind of overdoing this Taylor Swift thing. So I think
Good for him.
I think everybody, including Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, are kind of getting tired of hearing it all. So,
Well, she can't go to every fucking game.
and that's what I hope.
Even if she wants to, she can't.
she'll only show up for the primetime games,
Even
the
for
ones-
her, it's expensive.
the Monday night games, the
Yeah.
Thursday games.
It's a bit
things
much,
like
though,
that.
right? It's almost like the NFL is almost trying to act like she's their spokesmodel
look
right
what
now.
happened.
Like,
Dude.
Honestly, look what happened. Well, look what she did. She
Hey.
brought NFL
Yes.
to the Swifties.
NFL's a business. What this business did was, oh shit, this is going to work, and that's why they kept on putting the camera over and over
yeah.
again, and it worked for them. So
Capitalize
hey,
on her
and you
I
fans.
see-
give them some kudos.
even Times Square got in on
How
it.
does
Kudos.
no? He says it another way.
Who?
Our former Purnell, some cados. I forgot how he says it. Anyways,
Okay.
kudos to the NFL, man, to take advantage of this. I mean, since they were struggling,
You talking about the Chiefs struggling?
One thing to touch on that
The
is I
NFL.
did see something.
it helped the Chiefs.
on,
It helped Kansas City, man.
Well,
This is the place to be now.
So that's what I was getting to. They were
Yeah.
talking about followers, and it was just like between the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs, and I can't remember what they were talking about, other teams or other players or something like that. They totaled up to be like 200 million followers, and it was like a whole bunch of different people and subjects and stuff like that. Taylor Swift alone has 200 million followers. So like they were comparing like her fan base to the NFL's fan base on Twitter or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and it was just like she owns it. So like
Yeah,
if
social
you can-
media.
if you yeah,
So it was
if you
like
can-
a
if you can
fraction
appeal-
of hers.
Yeah, if you can appeal to even 10% of that 200 million
Yeah.
and you bring them over to the NFL,
Right.
kudos to the NFL for being the marketers they are and
The Kansas City
fucking
Chiefs took
pimping
advantage
them.
of it. They're still taking advantage of it.
pimp her out.
Hey, all of our businesses, local businesses, little small mom pop places,
Yeah.
they're taking advantage of them. Good for
They
them.
were talking about that like Town Topic in downtown Kansas City. The little burger joint was killing it
Oh,
because
yeah.
of all the football games, the the New Era tour, the Beyonce tour that all came through. They were making
Cardi
jack.
B was
They
over
were
there.
making some
Cardi B
cheddar,
went to
dude.
Town
Man,
Topic.
she went to Town Topic.
For real. Damn.
Who went to Town
Shit.
Topic?
Cardi B.
Cardi B.
Oh,
Cardi B went to Town Topic.
Yeah, it's
Respect.
kind of hey man.
I want a couple sandwiches.
It is getting a little out of control. I shit you not. Like, I'm literally trying to do research, and I'm looking at the Chiefs, and I go to my
Yeah,
I go to my ESPN app, and and I'm trying to like scroll down. The first thing that pops up, I'm like, okay, well, there's Patrick Mahomes, and then I scroll over, and I'm like, Taylor Swift. Scroll over, Taylor Swift. Scroll over, Taylor Swift, and I'm like, whoa, like, come on. I'm like, I'm trying to get some info here, and all I see is pop culture.
Yeah.
I mean,
You see Mama Kelsey on Good Morning America this morning?
she's killing. What?
Yeah,
she's
so she
still
was
making her rounds.
I was at
Oh
first. I was
my
kind of like, because
God.
I didn't read the story yet, and I seen that they were talking about Taylor Swift. I was like, come on.
My God.
Yeah, they asked her, like, how was it being in the same suite at a Chiefs game with Taylor Swift? And she goes, it was okay. But what do you want? Like, oh, fuck. It was exciting. She is super nice. Her crew were funny. I wasn't even paying attention at all to my son. They were so hilarious. No, if you were to ask her, hey, how was Taylor Swift specifically? She's a sweetheart. You asked, how was it in the suite with Taylor Swift?
Was you awestruck? Right.
I
Pretty
know,
much
like-
what they're saying. Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
well,
on past Taylor Swift. I'm over this already.
dude, you just got back.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna
that's how
start
quickly,
it up again.
That's how quickly it is. But back to Kansas City Chiefs. One last thing that I did see on the Kansas City defense, we were all trashing Chris Jones for all the bullshit that he did, for holding out, showing up for week 1 in the suite and everything else like that. We're going into week 5, and
How many sacks does he have?
Has what week are we in? We're in 5, so he has 4, and this is his 6th game in a row with a sack. So it's the longest current streak for a defensive lineman to have a sack. So kudos,
6
Chris-
game in a row since last season?
since the Super Bowl and the AFC Championship games. So
Yeah, so if you like the McDonald's, the sack is your
Big
deal.
Mac for sacks.
Big Macs for sacks, your deal, man.
Yeah, man.
So what? Say it again. What was that stat again? That
he has a
was,
sack in 6 consecutive games dating back to last year's AFC Championship game.
but after that, you said something else. You said he was the first, or what? He's the only one. Or?
It's the longest streak for a defensive lineman right now.
Right
So it's a
now,
record.
okay.
Yeah.
In the
so
NFL.
it's a record.
No,
Okay.
not in the NFL in general, just for right now, like the
Right,
current
right.
NFL going on right now.
Oh, okay. So the current longest
and
active
everything. Yeah,
streak.
yeah, yeah.
Got it.
So he's earning his money. He's proven that, hey, you guys need to give me the money that I deserve. And I honestly agree with him. Like, pay that guy his money. He's the Mahomes of the defense, and I believe that. And I do think they need to step up and pay the man his money. He deserves it. He's shown up, and he's shown out, and he's been loyal to Kansas City and done everything right, I think, in my eyes.
I agree.
Hey, so I got a couple questions for you guys about the Vikings Chiefs, right? So there's just 2 questions. So will we contain Jefferson? We know he's going to get his, but my question is will we keep him under 100 yards, and
That's
will
a-
we keep him out of the end zone?
That's a good question. I actually
Let's all put it on the line.
Let's
right, you
let's,
go, Ken.
let's
You
add
go
that
first,
to our
Ken, since you're
weekly.
talking.
Honestly, I honestly think that we can hold him under 100 yards. We're going to be the first team to do it. I go, yes, we're going to hold him.
I say
Same.
yes, because we are going to get to Kirk Cousins a lot more. If we get to him, that he can't pass it. So that way,
I like the way you think.
JJ is not going to be able to get the numbers. So he's going to
Same.
get his numbers, but under 100.
Under 100.
You're under?
What? Under on 52 and a half?
No, under 100 yards.
So how many yards will Jefferson get? Will he get over 100, or will we keep him under 100?
Going over under 100 yards, Jay Jettis.
Hold on here.
You
Hold
can't
on
you
here.
can't consult. We're going by the gut here, Ray.
Yeah,
Ray.
this
No,
is a
no,
gut
no, no.
check.
Yes, yes.
It's yes or no.
Yes, yeah. The answer is yes. We can hold him under.
He's looking at next gen
Yes.
stats.
I'm looking.
Okay.
Yep.
Ti,
Hold on one
So
second here.
I said under as well, so we're all under.
you all think we're going to do it?
Yeah, and piggybacking on what Walt said, that brings me to my next question. How many sacks do you think we're going to get?
Sacks against the offensive line. Go ahead, Walt. You take it first now.
Oh, man. Oh, that's good. Okay. I'm going to say 2.
2.
Yeah.
Okay.
The rest are going to be pressures.
Okay.
Where he's going to have to throw the ball
T.I.?
faster than he wants.
I was going to say 3 sacks. I'm not
3?
doing the prices right on Waltz. It's legitimately 3.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Now we're just going defense. Chiefs defense sacks on
99
Kirk Cousins.
So what's the over under?
Doesn't matter.
There's
just
no
whatever.
under.
How
It's
many
just
you
how
think?
many
Answer the
sacks?
question, man.
I'm gonna go with 3.
3 as well.
Hey,
All
just so
right.
you guys know, Justin Jefferson's over/under yardage is 102.5.
102. See, I'm gonna definitely. That's a good call. So we kind of
We're right there.
We kind of
under. I'm going under.
What do you
Walt-
think,
Walt
Ken?
said 2. Ti said 3.
Six.
Ray said 3.
I said
I'm
3.
actually going to be the bigger man. I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over all that, and I'm going to go 4, just because that gives me everything else, and I'll win. But I think Chris Jones keeps his keeps his sack streak alive. I think Karlaftis, who's been getting there time and time again, I actually think he's going to start recording his sacks, and I'm going to give it up to the rook, the Lee Summit grad. I think Felix Anadike is going to get in there and get his first NFL sacks and flex.
Dude,
Oh
Where's
no, you
everybody?
did it! Oh no, you did it!
Wait, where's he been?
They got him out there through 3 weeks. He was the
I've heard
second
his
most. He's had the second most pressures for the Chiefs through 3 weeks. Now prior to
I've
last
heard his
week,
name a couple times with the past 4 weeks.
he's
but I
only
haven't-
out there on pass rushing downs. That's all he's out there for right now.
That's our first round pick, and I can barely hear his name being called.
But remember, that's the same thing that happened with Karlaftis. Karlaftis had 1 sack through 8 games, and in the final 8 games, he had I think 7 or 8 sacks.
That's true. He
So
was.
They groom our rookies along pretty good. So that's why I still hold hope for Rashid Rice and some of the other guys coming in.
Rashi Rice.
Rashi.
It's all good, man.
Oh my God, guys, this is bad. This is terrible. I look up all
There's
of
a
the
D on it, isn't it? Rashid?
No, just Rashid.
Rashid.
No
There's
D.
no D?
No D.
No D.
Rashid, this is terrible. This is how bad our receiving core. Not to bring up our receiving core again, but here, this is how bad it's gotten.
Hold on. Before you say anything,
right.
who do you think has the most yards out of our wide receivers?
Oh, so for this upcoming game?
No. Just in general.
Oh,
like
in
right
general.
now, through 4 weeks.
Wide receiver, not tight end.
You know what?
No tight end.
I think it's MVS.
Do you?
No. The kid. Oh gosh.
Oh,
dang it.
damn it!
Watson?
No, not Sky Moore.
That's what I thought you
Yeah.
did. Yeah, Justin
Watson.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
Justin
say
Watson. He's a-
Rice. I'm gonna say Rashid Rice.
Rashid Rice.
So did Jerry look it
I
up?
am gonna side with fuck Ken on this one.
Is
with
it?
Rashid Rice.
Yeah, buddy.
He has the most. This first of all, this is how
Yeah.
bad it is. This is how bad it is.
This past game.
What's
that's what
what's
it
the
was.
what's the total
No,
on
total-
Rashid Rice?
Rashid,
For the
so
season.
32 and a
It was
half.
his well, yeah, for the
Okay.
season. But it was his
32 and a
past
half
game.
yards.
What's the total for his season for him?
The
Oh,
season.
were you going-
season.
Ah.
I was talking about this game.
I
I was
already
talking
have
about this
it.
game.
Well, I already know the answer.
But
Okay.
this is bad, guys.
Who is it?
This
Justin
is
Watson.
bad.
Watson has it the most
Justin
yards.
Watson
It
has
does.
it,
Yeah,
yes.
it was
Rashid
Justin
Rice
But-
second.
but this
He's
is
not even a
bad.
starter.
I know
Right.
this is bad. Look, Justin Jefferson, KJ Osborne, TJ Hawkinson, and Jordan Addison all are projected more yardage than all of our receivers.
That's bad.
Oh
I know,
my
right?
God,
That sounds pretty accurate.
it is.
They,
Pretty
they throw the
accurate.
ball quite a bit. They got rid of Dalvin Cook. They're committed to the pass game. They believe in Kirk Cousins throwing the ball. And I mean, he's shown that he can. But I think they should have kept Cook, and that opens up so much more.
Yeah, you're completely right. Completely.
But that's neither here nor there.
How's their defense?
Terrible.
Vikings.
So
Terrible.
I remember
So bad.
Ken had
What
mentioned.
are
I
they
think
ranked?
they're last in
Last?
the in the
31st.
league.
31st out of
31st,
32.
31st in
Okay.
passing.
Pretty much last.
I don't know what they're in rushing, but it's probably not good.
Yeah. It's not. It's not.
And it's in Minnesota.
I would
Kind of feel bad for old Kirk Cousins, man. I grew to like him watching the quarterback. He was an okay guy, man. Nice.
He's a nice.
Yeah, just a nice feller. Shops at Kohl's, you know.
Yeah, right. I don't know if I'm sure you guys know this. I'm surprised you guys haven't brought this. I did, unless we talked about it, and I've had too much rum. About Patrick Mahomes, if he wins this game, then
Yes, I had that in my real quick. Yeah, you're
yes, if he sorry to take your real quick, but real quick, there if he wins
Actually,
this game,
we're narrowing it down. Are we
about
ready
10
for real
minutes.
quick?
pretty almost. I gotta get on camera to do my picks. Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
But if Patrick
You got
Mahomes
your
wins. 30. He'll beat. He'll be the fastest to beat all 31 teams.
He'll be the youngest to beat all 31
Fastest-
teams.
Yeah, fastest and youngest.
Yep. I did see that. That was one of my real quick. So he'll have to trade him in order for him to beat the Chiefs. So
My bad. My bad. Are we ready for a risky
That's all
raise
good.
pick?